Hey guys, this is Pseudo and welcome to episode 2 of the Sanctuary Cast. In this week, I have two new people joining me on the show, and they are none other than Kada and Djehuty. So, Kada, if you could give us a little bit of introduction onto yourself.
Hi, I'm Kadamode and I approve of this podcast. To those of you who are not familiar with me, I'm just another player from League of Legends C who writes a load of guides on League of Legends. Also, I'm the former leader of Sanctuary. Okay, back to you, Justin.
You don't need to be so formal, guys. So thank you, Kada. And we also have a special guest, which is one of the game masters from Garena itself. Djehuty, could you give us a bit of introduction onto yourself?
Alright, hi guys. For those of you who play League of Legends, I think you probably know me. I'm one of the GMs from Garena. I handle content editing, so writing stuff, live streaming, shoutcasting, and a little bit of a community event stuff as well. So if you head over to any of the Garena events, you've probably seen me there.
Okay, so we have two very big people in the community here. We have one of the top posters on the forums, Kadamode, and we have one of the game masters who would have the red profiles up there joining us today. In the previous episode, we had two Singaporeans, and this time we have two Malaysians. This is all by chance. I did not plan it to be this way, but we shall just roll with it. So in this episode, we will be talking about three distinct topics. The first one being Garena's 1-year anniversary and Garena Premier League. And the second thing we're going to be talking about is the possibility of CLG members coming to Southeast Asia. And thirdly, which is Athene's Unholy Grail. So if you don't know about it, don't worry, we'll be talking about it throughout the whole time. On to the first thing, which is the first year anniversary of Garena. Djehuty, could you tell us a little bit more about it?
Alright, so for those of you who are not familiar with it, League of Legends was officially launched in our region, that region being Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, about in the month of May last year. So this month, we're going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary. We have a couple of events up right now, like pre-anniversary events. We've got a t-shirt contest where people can design their own t-shirt and submit it, and we'll actually be printing those t-shirts for the event itself, and I think we'll be giving them out as well. So it's pretty cool competition, and if you're a design student, then you definitely want to check it out. It's something awesome for your portfolio. We also are looking for a couple of volunteers for the event, because I mean, somebody's got to get me coffee while I'm live streaming. So if you want to volunteer and like fold my clothes, do my laundry, seriously though, there's stuff that we need to do at the event, because there's going to be lots of people, and it's fun, and we will. I see some people there like going like, what's the reward for being a volunteer? Don't worry guys, we won't forget you. If you help us out, we'll definitely, I'll autograph I'll autograph stuff for you. No, but there'll be good rewards, seriously.
I think it goes against the whole spirit of volunteering, right? Like, people expect something in return and not just,
I know, right?
People out and doing it.
I think
that's what, when I first read that thread, it was like hilarious. When I read that, everybody was asking, what do I get in return? I'm like, wait, what? Didn't they clearly say volunteer?
That's right. That's exactly what I thought. I mean, if you're a volunteer, you're going there with no expectations, of payment in return, and yet, but it's fine. I mean, I can kind of understand. Maybe they are just wondering. They're just curious, and we won't forget our volunteers. If you help us out, we'll definitely help you out as well.
Okay. Well, even with the volunteering, I do know that Kada and myself both have volunteered to become MCs for the one in Kampa. We shall see whether we actually get chosen or not. That should be pretty interesting. All three of us being here, and the possibility of three of us being in the same location once again. So we'll look forward to that. So yeah. Kada, are you excited if all three of us will be together?
Yeah, I am. I look forward for the event in Kampa. I'm not sure if there's any events in Kampa before this, but usually it's more centric towards KL, around the area there, KL, Subang. It's good to see that there are more events somewhere else besides KL, because unlike Singapore, Malaysia's local community is more spread out.
Yeah, I guess it kind of narrows the gap between the Penang community and the KL community. So somewhere in between, I guess, was a good thing. Oh, and the other thing also with the 1-year anniversary is the League of Legends merchandise, right? Jyoti?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes,
so
I love
right,
merchandise.
right now we are looking for ideas about merchandise, and I just have to say that there's going to be something very exciting with LOL merchandise coming up in the next maybe 3-4 months or so, that we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. I mean, we're not just sourcing for ideas about LOL merchandise for fun. Obviously, we're going to be doing something, and that's something that the community should be really excited about, because we've got lots of exciting stuff in the pipeline right now.
Actually, Djehuty, I would like to ask you about the merchandise, if you could care to answer.
Sure, why not?
Now, from the 1 year I've been in the League of Legends, all the merchandise I've seen so far are basically mass-produced merchandise that are like normal, but you just slap on the Garena logo or the League of Legends thing on it. I mean, I actually have a water bottle that says League of Legends on it, but then again, it's basically just a water bottle.
Yeah, I can say that the previous stuff we made is pretty generic, so what the new stuff we're coming up with will be pretty different from what you've seen before.
Are you going to make a laptop designed by Garena? Like, ooh.
I have no idea about that. But yeah, you were saying, Kada. Continue.
So what I'm saying is that, with the events, are you telling me that it's viable for Garena to mass produce something like, I don't know, Amumu dolls, something like that?
Yeah, Amumu dolls is definitely a possibility. We're looking at stuffed toys, and it's gonna be pretty cool. I've just as a player, I've looked at some of the stuff, and I would personally purchase some of them. So I can't say like what stuff we have, but it's definitely going to be more exciting than like pens and notebooks and stuff like that. So it's something that is worth spending money on.
Okay, that's cool. So if you guys listening up there want to purchase stuff by Garena with League of Legends related to them, leave a comment down on what you would like to see, and perhaps Garena could pick up an idea and produce it. You never know, you could find exactly what you're looking for down there. So leave a comment below and Garena will pick it up. On the other front of the t-shirts, I thought that was a really good idea. You're going to be giving it out for free.
Yeah, I think
or
we
like,
will
do
be.
People have to pay for it?
I think we will be giving out some t-shirts as like prizes for the anniversary. So we're going to be picking out the best t-shirt out of all the designs. We'll be printing like tons of them for the anniversary event, and we'll be giving it out. So let's hope that I mean, we've seen from the art contest that there are tons of really talented people out there, so we expect some really cool designs.
Like, okay, in your opinion, I don't know who is judging the competition, but in your opinion, what would you like to see on a t-shirt?
I blame the jungler.
That would be pretty cool. Actually, I like witty and funny kinds of t-shirts, like stuff like I blame the jungler, stuff like that. I always think that's more fun to wear rather than like some serious looking t-shirt. So that would be cool.
Okay, so there you go. If the community is watching this, you got a little bit of insight into the GM's mind. Something witty, something fun, and not generic from him. So okay, that's good. Yeah. And most of the competitions that are coming up have pretty hefty prizes. Like you win cash in most of them, as well as you win like some of the merchandise back in the t-shirts, and that sort of thing. So yeah, we have 250 Sing dollars for the first place in the t-shirt designing contest. We have from Make Yourself Heard, we have another 500 Singapore dollars there. I mean, this is a lot of money, and I guess the community is responding well to it, don't you think? Like, to the amount of entries that we've seen.
I mean, the reason why we put up such a large amount for these is that because we really want to reward talent out there. I mean, here at Garena, we really believe in like giving back to the community, and if we're looking for somebody who's good at shoutcasting, we value that a lot, because shoutcasting is something that's really important to like keep esports alive. if you didn't have good shoutcasters, no matter how great the players were, the event would be boring. If somebody doesn't shoutcast it well, then people who don't really understand the game the same way that the pro players do, they wouldn't be able to enjoy it as much. So that's definitely something that we're looking for. Somebody who can make esports exciting, and we would love to reward that person well.
I think that's a really good initiative. Not to really talk about my personal life or anything of that sort, but I do know that many of the people that did actually submit those entries in were really looking forward to it, and I can see the community growing towards more of an esports centric community, which I think is really good, especially for Southeast Asia to be coming up there. Kada, what do you think, since you have been playing since the NA beta, right?
Yeah, I've been playing since NA beta, and I have the green Rammer skin to prove it. So yeah. Anyway, on the shoutcasting and the esports, to be honest, I haven't really followed any shoutcasting because you know, whenever I play the game, the only voice that I would like to hear is myself. However, I mean, from what I see of the community, we don't really have a lot of shoutcasters, and the only shoutcasters I see right now are just the regular faces that I wasn't interested in listening and watching them play before, and it makes no difference afterwards. However, with this competition, it promotes more shoutcasters, and I think it's actually very good to bring out to really make the community bring out the best out of themselves, rather than let anyone take the lead. I like to see more events like this that promotes people to give out to the community.
Okay, with like shoutcasting and esports in mind, since we are from Southeast Asia, there will definitely be the choice between Singlish or Manglish. For those international listeners, it is Singaporean English or Malaysian English, which has add-ons such as la, ma, o, and other things to a sentence, versus pure cast English, I would say, without all the additions to it. What are both your opinions on it? Would you like to hear someone with a more local flavor, or just someone who speaks like us, I would say?
Well, I think definitely having an accent is fine. It's fine. Actually, when I watch the videos, it's more about what kind of voice do you have. Even if you have a Singlish accent, you may have a weak voice. You might be really quiet and timid. You need to have an exciting voice, like a commanding voice for shoutcasting, so that when people hear you, they get all excited about the game. And I think that having an accent, Singlish or Manglish, doesn't really affect that much. It's more about having a good command of the English language as well. And sometimes people with, I mean, not to generalize or anything, but normally people with Singlish accents, maybe the level of the standard of English might not be as good, and you need to have a really good vocabulary for shoutcasting. So all these things matter.
As for me, I think that the accent is not a problem as long as you are understood. What you say is clearly. I mean, I've seen a couple of podcasts from people from Europe whose English is not perfect and they have their own accent. However, what they say were very clear. I could understand what they said, and the accent is not a problem as long as you are understood. Surely enough, there's a couple of local vocabularies and terms. However, if you relay your message well, people can actually guess what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so as long as you're well articulated, then it doesn't really matter what sort of accent you have. So there. So for those of you who are wondering about the winners of the shoutcasting competition, it's going to come out soon. That's what I heard. I have no idea if it's coming out soon or not. We shall not bug Djehuty whether to produce an actual date for us. But what I heard is coming out soon.
It will be soon,
so that's
yeah.
right.
I know you guys are really
no
excited. I know that everybody is like bugging everyone and trying to figure out when exactly, but It's just that to go through all the entries, there's a lot of things that we have to look at. So it takes longer than normal for us to judge these entries. But I guarantee you guys will find out soon enough. We're not gonna run away with. We're not gonna run away with the prize money.
And the winner is Djehuty. Wait, what? Yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about was on one of the other Garena events, which was writing the article for attack damager carry. Why did Garena introduce this out there?
Are you talking about the one that was recently just posted for Game Access?
Yes.
Game Access. All right.
Yes, that one.
That was done by the Malaysian Garena team, so I can't speak for them 100%, but I believe that they want to have they've been having regular articles in Game Access Malaysia, so they're just looking for more content that can be published there. And recently on GameSpot they featured one of our articles that was written by, I'm not sure if you guys know Elliot, the shoutcaster. He wrote an article for GameSpot, and that was on AP Champs, so I think they're trying to emulate something there for Game Access, and it'll just help to educate readers out there about what League of Legends is like and how to play it.
Yeah, I mean, on the other hand, it kind of goes in line with what Garena is doing of bringing up new talent. So we have writers, we have casters, we have designers all along the way. I think overall you guys have been hitting most of the marks. I can't think of any other side where you haven't done yet. And the prize was to pick any champion, any AD champion of their choice. I thought that was another excellent prize. Why not? I know I would do it. Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's the skin of their choice. Oh wait, with regards to the champion skin, can it be any of the
that's what I was thinking. I'm not sure whether they're gonna let them pick anything, but I mean it's handled by the Malaysian team, but since their rules say any, if it were me, I would just pick something like Pack Silver, which you can't get anywhere else.
Exactly. I was thinking about that.
If you say any AD champion skin, I would play that champion for a week as long as it has range as an AD carry. I don't care if it's any. If it's Swain, as long as it has range, I'm going to play it AD and I'm going to claim the skin.
Yeah, I mean, that could work. Who are they to say that it's not AD? If you play it as AD, I mean, Lulu can be AD, Cannon could be AD. I mean, not many people thought that they could be played as an AD, and when they were played like that, I guess as long as you show them that it works, they can't really disagree with you.
Yeah, if those of you who are listening on the Malaysian team who designed it, you may want to tweak it now a little bit before you have AD brands and AD Janas appearing inside that.
By the way, we don't really play the AD carry seriously, so don't look at this the wrong way.
Yeah, that's true. Cut our mains when I'm support, so yeah. So with that in mind, so we have lots of things looking forward to the Garena year 1 anniversary, and is there going to be a countdown timer for it with more details being released sequentially, or is it just going to be random posts being up by Garena? Because I'm pretty sure the community is pretty excited about what it actually holds.
I think as you can see, we've already had some pre-anniversary events like the T-shirt. We're going to be having more pre-anniversary events, and we'll slowly be hyping it up and releasing more and more information about the event as time goes by. So yeah, kind of a bit of a lead up towards it.
Okay, so that's cool. And if you want Kada and myself to be with Djehuty in Kampa, wait, you'll be in Kampa, right? Not in Singapore.
Me? I'm gonna be in Singapore.
Damn. So if you want Kada and myself to be the ones in Kampa emceeing the event, write up the Garena saying that you want us there, and we'll be there.
Stop promoting yourself.
I'm not promoting myself, but I think it's kind of fun to have us both there. And it's a community, why not?
I guess if the community wants it, then I have no choice. It's not like I want to do it or anything.
Yeah, clearly, right, Kada, hence you volunteered. But anyway, moving along to the second topic, which is that the Garena Premier League now. There's not much information about it yet, so Djehuty, could you please give us basic information about what's it all about?
Alright, so basically, we've been pretty quiet about the GPL, the Garena Premier League, but since we're gonna be releasing information about it soon, I can share with you guys what it is. The Garena Premier League is gonna be Asia's first regional and fully professional League of Legends league. Geez, that sounds odd. But what I meant by fully professional is that all the teams that will be competing in the GPL are going to be fully salaried. They're going to be training full time. They're working full time as professional gamers. And I don't think there's any other league in the region right now that is doing the same thing. So we've got 6 countries. The 6 countries are Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines. And the 6 teams, I think we're gonna have more information about them up soon. And if you don't know them, look out on the forums very soon. We're gonna be having introductions. I think we've already introduced 2 of our teams, the Singapore Sentinels and the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. So that's from Singapore and Malaysia, where we've already sent them off to Taiwan actually. We are going to be having the opening event for the GPL on the 5th of May. So that is this Saturday. This
2
Saturday,
days time.
Yep,
Yeah.
we are having there has been some news posted about it. I think I saw news on some of the international websites talking about it. But locally, we haven't really put up that much news. I think today I'll be releasing some news about it. And it's quite a big event. They're going to be having they have these soundproof booths built, I think, over there. They have a stage for like hundreds and hundreds of people to watch, and there's a pretty big prize as well. I'm not too sure exactly what the prize is, but there's quite a big prize. Anyways, the league itself, so on the 5th, this Saturday, we're going to have the opening event, and when they actually start the league, that will be on the 18th of May.
Okay.
So yeah, on the 18th of May, what we'll be having is a high definition broadcast every week. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I think, we'll be showcasing matches between the 6 teams that we have. We'll have high definition streams, and they will be in various languages. So we've got, I mean, depending on which country you're from, you can watch a stream in your language. So every game will be broadcasted in different languages. So yeah, that's about it. I think I spoke for quite some time about it. And if you guys want to ask me anything else about it, you can just, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I wonder, will there be a Malay stream for the Malaysians, or will it be in English?
For Singapore and Malaysia, we were gonna be doing it in English. We've got 2 separate. We've got 2 separate streams. We'll have one for Singapore and one for Malaysia, but not necessarily we'll always have both running at the same time, because yeah, we're both going to be using English, so it might not always be on at the same time.
So Djehuty, now for the tournament, right? Of course, since we're from Southeastern Asia, we'll be supporting the KL Hunters and the Singapore Sentinels, but obviously they're gonna win anyway. But who do you think who are the strong competitors are? I mean, do you have any information about the other teams?
I think that the strongest competitor is, I mean, as much I'm a Malaysian working in Singapore, right, so I have reason to support both Singapore and the Malaysia team, but I think the strongest team is definitely the Taipei Assassins. That's the Taiwanese team, and they are really strong. I mean, every single time they've played against the Malaysian and Singapore teams, they've won by a large margin. So if I had to put money on it, and yeah, I would definitely put my money on the Taipei Assassins.
Okay, however, that actually shocked me. I thought it was the Singapore Sentinels, to be honest. Yeah.
If you've been watching the Taiwanese streams, they've actually played games against CLG, and the Taipei Assassins trashed CLG. I mean, of course, there were some people who were saying like CLG wasn't playing seriously and there were connection problems and stuff like that. But even then, they pretty much owned them like 5 games to 1 or something like that. It was a pretty big loss for CLG. So,
wow. Okay.
yeah, they have a reputation already, the Taipei Assassins, and I think we'll get to see how they perform very soon.
Okay, so with Garena Premier coming up and more information being released, we actually have a link below in the description to find out more about the website there itself. Since you mentioned CLG, we move on to our second topic, which is the possibility of CLG coming to Southeast Asia. This was originally news from State of the League, which is another podcast done by Travis over in the US side. Quoting at the 1 hour 7 minute mark, DoubleLift is coming to live with me, but he's going to Singapore. DoubleLift doesn't know either. Apparently he's training some team down there. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that. With this in mind, is CLG secretly training the Singapore Malaysian teams to beat Taiwanese assassins?
To be very honest, when I also found out about that through that stream where Travis was talking about it, and that was like the first time I heard about it, and when I asked around in the office, like everyone was clueless. So I mean, if DoubleLift really does come down to Singapore, I don't think there's any other team that can afford to bring him down to train them. So, but I have no idea. I really have no idea whether he's really coming here. And if he does come here, then that would be awesome, because I'd like to meet him as well.
Same here. Not bad. So if DoubleLift comes over, let's see whether we can have future CLG from Singapore itself, but another division.
Future CLG from Singapore.
Yeah, why not? Like if they have really good players that they could import over there, or they have a separate team over here, that should be interesting in the sense of bringing up the esports community.
Yeah,
but we shall see in all due time. Yeah.
It'd be really cool if they could have that.
It would be really fun if all of a sudden all these pro teams start like headhunting based on our servers. So all of a sudden we have Dignitas scouts come in and things like that. I think that would be really, really interesting. Where everybody would be like playing really hardcore just to get themselves out there, yeah. But what do you guys think, like based on the European teams, the American teams, and now the Asian teams coming up along the way, who are your favorite teams?
For me, I was a fan of CLG at first, but now I actually I'm a big supporter of TSM. I just love I'm not like in love with the way they play, but just their culture that they breed is just Bay life, man. And Darius is freaking awesome. And you know, the fact that they have that house, I don't know, TSM is more like, it's all about the entertainment, and just watching them is fun. They don't, even if they don't like play super duper awesome, they're just fun to watch. They're just really fun to watch. They're like a reality TV show.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of the vlogs that that feature the players there are really hilarious. Like supposedly them working out or them cooking bacon and eggs in the kitchen. I'll put all those links in the description. It's actually quite hilarious. Yeah, Darius trying to burn the house down when he's cooking. Yeah. I think all of that is good entertainment value. Like people get to know the lifestyle behind the players or behind the game itself. So they get the full experience of what it feels like to be a professional player out there. Do you think anybody from Southeast Asia will start doing that? Big vlogs of what they're doing in daily life? I would watch that.
Actually, what I dislike about the Southeastern Asia is that as you can see from the NA, the top players are very vocal about what they're doing with the live stream and the commentating and these videos on YouTube. I mean, I could go on YouTube right now and I can easily search games and the shoutcasts from the top players of NA. But in C, it's not that much. I mean, we don't actually hear much from the top players themselves. They don't get any much exposure. It's as if the C players are very, very shy.
Yeah, so right now I think the Southeast Asian players, just as a more of a cultural thing, are a bit more reserved, and they're a little bit more quiet. They're not really as outspoken, just because of our culture. I mean, compare the average Asian Singaporean to an American, and we're like so quiet compared to them. So that's part of the reason why we've got the Singapore Sentinels. We want to
Yeah, I mean, even
groom them.
Sorry.
But yeah, we're basically trying to groom the players to be more exciting, and more of entertainment personalities rather than just great players.
Yeah, I mean, that even goes to show, like, there have not been many shoutcasters because there are not many people that has been vocally active. There's also not been many. This is the first podcast. Like, it's going to take some time for the community to develop. But yeah, I mean, like, we are all taking steps to becoming more, or rather having a larger entertainment value for like each of these players. I mean, we can also see that more of these players are having their own live streams up and things like that. So I think we're on the way there, just that it's taking a little bit of time to go there. With that second topic actually done, we're going to go into a slight deviation of our original 3 topics before we touch the last one. This is to do with the community here. So Djehuty, we're going to be talking about one of your fellow colleagues and a possibility of people sleeping with her. This is actually
I did that, man. I see what you did there.
So, if you want Celis wrapped between your legs as a bolster cover,
Oh my god.
what do you think about this idea?
What do I think about Sailor's bolster covers? Oh my god. I just think that if there's Sailor's bolster covers, whatever material they make it out of, they want to make sure that it can be washed frequently. Apart from that, I have no comment about Sailor's bolster covers. If you guys want it, then I mean, you guys can go ahead and print it. I don't know. I'm just saying that it'll definitely not be coming from any Garena store.
Okay, but when the Garena office first heard about it, like, what was Celis' reaction? Since we don't have her on the show, what was the office reaction to it?
I think I could remember her shouting out loud in the office, like, I just remember she definitely wasn't pleased. But I think she got a laugh out of it. I mean, she can laugh at herself, so she's not somebody who would get so deeply offended by it. She can laugh it off as something that was funny, and I think it was funny. I got a laugh out of it.
Kada, what do you think about Celis?
Well, I'm not. Honestly, I'm not gonna make any comments because you know when I first saw the picture, I was like, okay, I'm gonna back off slowly and do something else now. I mean,
Why? Because you were tempted to buy it?
well, no, because I'm actually friends with Celis and I do not want to get killed. I value
Were you
my
friend
life.
zone?
Aw, okay.
Oh.
Oh man.
I think when we have Celis on, we should really ask her about this. I mean, it still seems to be going on in the community. It has been like, so yeah, we'll move on to the third topic. Sorry about the sidetrack. The third one is actually a new item that popped up on the North American servers, which is Athene's Unholy Grail. It is a mixture of Fiendish Codex and Chalice of Harmony. Descriptions we placed down in the link. I'm not sure who will be using this item. Any predictions?
Yeah. So
Excuse me, sorry, you broke up a bit just now. Can you repeat the last part?
I think he was just asking about Athene.
Oh, sorry about that.
The new
I think
item.
Unholy Grail, like, yeah, I mean, it's done with Fiendish Codex and Chalice of Harmony, what sort of role do you think would like start using this item most?
So I mean, looking at it, it's definitely an AP item, and I think just to let the viewers know, it was on the public beta realm. I think it wasn't in the game itself, so it was just on the test realm. Anyways, it builds out of, like you were saying, it builds out of Fiendish Codex and Chalice of Harmony. And it's definitely an AP item. It gives you mana regen, it gives you ability power and magic resist. But I think the reason why they won't be including it just yet is because I mean, looking at the stats, it looks pretty strong. Magic resist in lane and mana regen in lane are two very, very powerful things. And I think Chalice would be a very strong item if not for the fact that you can't upgrade it into anything. So having this upgrade for Chalice is, I think, slightly a little bit too strong. That's why they didn't allow it to go into live realm just yet.
Actually, for this, I think it's Holy Grail. I think it's a quite logical item because if you see right now in the AD lane, players stack defense and they have items such as Regals. And some even build a Ninja Stabi in order to mitigate the damage. But we don't see the same thing going on in the mid lane. The only thing that I can think of is Chalice of Harmony. But at the same time, it doesn't really help in providing survival for the AP lane. Because for the AP lane, it's basically either I kill you or you kill me. That sort of thing. I think Riot is trying to give the AP players more of a offensive role, something sustainable rather than a hit and run. And as I can see from the stats here, it's actually a great alternative for the Archangel stuff. Now all this while, when I play champions that are heavily dependent on mana, I build Archangel stuff. And as for myself, I built TF with Archangel stuff, and I know that a lot of people are criticizing me about TF with Archangel stuff, but hey, I like Archangel stuff. So with this item, I think we can see a lot more of the AP carry being in the battle longer rather than they appear out of nowhere, clean up and run away as we always do.
Well, I mean, you were saying that AP is more of like you kill me, I kill you, but in the recent tournament, and one of the reasons why Riot actually nerfed Magic Resist and buff Magic Pen was because of the way that I think it was Froggen was playing. Basically, what Froggen came up with was that he figured out that mid lane, if you're both very skilled players, you can't really kill each other. So in the end, it just becomes about farming and sustain. So what he did was he just set up this full, tons of Emma, tons of magic regen rune page, and he basically whooped everyone with it because mid lane, if you're both really good, it's hard to kill each other because the towers are so near. And I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, Riot is trying to focus on more offensive play, because defensive play can get pretty boring.
Yeah.
Actually, when I first saw this item, I was like, ability power, magic resist, I didn't really care about the mana regen. I saw the cooldown reduction, and the first person I thought of was Mordekaiser. And then when I saw mana regen, I was like, wait, mana Kaiser? Wait, no.
Mana Kaiser is number one. Where?
I don't know, it just seems like a really good, like really rounded item where you have offensive, you have defensive, you have regenerative things with it. I could see top players that, you know, go with Rise and things like that beginning to use this item as well, with like large mana regeneration pools, with ability power, since the new changes to Rise is being done, and the extra magic resist that's also being there. I think other heroes like Galio that survive on magic resist with the extra ability power, the cooldown reduction, and the mana regeneration will also make them really strong contenders out there. Am I wrong, or this is all in my head?
I think it would be a really strong item on Galio because Chalice is already something that he's going to pick up, and combined with the fact that he gets more AP from MR, it would definitely be a core on Galio if it ever came out.
Actually, I kind of like this because you know, Chalice of Harmony has been around for a very, 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 very long time, and I mean, it just sits there, staring at you, mocking you with it occupying one of the space in your inventory and just looking at you until you replace it with something else. I mean, it's a very cheap item. It's something like Doran's Blade. I mean, right now we can already see that nothing's gonna come out of the Doran's Blade, but Doran's Blade is like something of a crutch. As in, you buy the Doran's Blade first, and then you replace it with another high-end item. I mean,
late game item, you mean?
Yeah, late game item. But as for Chalice of Harmony, I don't know. It's kind of like too expensive for me for it to be like a crutch item. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, it's something that's not really completed. Something like you just buy a finished codex and just leave the finished codex like that, or Kage's Peak. So it's good to see that they actually build something already. I mean, right now I don't think there's anything like the Chalice of Harmony anymore.
Okay, with that in mind, I mean, we talked about items that have like half a tech tree, so to say. What item would you like to see next? Like, get either a revamp or a continuation on?
I want to see, you go ahead first, Kada.
Well, actually, I would like to see more items that are magic resistant, that are more magic resistant items that are friendly towards the champions with no mana, because I've always been a fan of champions with no mana because I don't like being ran out of mana. So my favorite champions are, you know, like Garrett, Riven, and listen. And to me, whenever I'm forced to build magic resistance, it's always Hex Ganker. I mean, I can never build Banshees or anything like that. So I'm hoping to see more items that are offensive, but at the same time provides magic resistance, something like Wit's End.
Alright. For me, I think I just want to see more AD itemization for AD champs. Like, I'm kind of happy that they have more of Malmortius now. That gives AD champs an option to build up some kind of MR while building up AD at the same time. But I think there's very, very poor choices when it comes to cooldown reduction for AD champs. Because if you look at AP champs, they've got all sorts of stuff. They've got the Fiendish Codex, they've got Deathfire Grass, they've got Morello's Evil Tome. Whereas for AD carries, all we have is Brutalizer. And if you upgrade your Brutalizer, it kind of stinks. The upgrade for Brutalizer is not really worth the money. So I wish there was better itemization for cooldown reduction on AD champs.
Okay, so we look at cooldown reduction for AD champs, and we're looking at magic resist that doesn't involve mana. We basically finished the three main topics, but we do have a little bit more time on this podcast, so I would actually like to talk about the Journal of Justice. It's been a while since we saw the last one. Issue 30 just came out today, the 2nd of May.
It's been 8 months since the last issue.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, oops, now they know which day we recorded on, but it's okay. Yeah, and it's been like a really long time. The last one was on 30th of September last year. So, any idea why it's been so long? It's kind of interesting to read it through. I've enjoyed reading all of them before. I hope they become more regular again. You seem to be one of the experts.
Well, I mean, I've been following the Journal of Justice from issue 1, and I mean, I'm very interested in the League of Legends lore. What I enjoyed most during the first few dozens of issues, what I enjoyed is, like, whenever a new champion is released, they're gonna write a little backstory on the Journal of Justice here. They're gonna write, for example, when Leona first came out, they wrote there, a shining light has been spotted somewhere. Who could it be? Obviously, it's Leona, but I mean, it's fun to read, and we can. And then there's the mailbag of justice, where the summoners write back to the league, and the league replies to them. It's all very interesting. It gives the aspect of the role playing in this game more. I mean, it gives focus more on the role playing aspect of this game. After all, we are all summoners. We are all summoners. But however, with the decline of the Journal of Justice, we don't really see anything after Dominion. I mean, I think it's in issue 6 or 7 where they started to make the Ionian battle against the Noxus, and that was very interesting to me. It's basically they pick like 5 top players and another 5 top players, and they assign, okay, you guys are Ionian, you guys are Noxus, fight it out. And then from the result of the fight, the Ionian team won, and that shaped the world of the law in the League of Legends. And I mean, it was very interesting to see the players themselves actively shape the law. About these things, I cannot really complain to Garena, because it's not Garena who writes the law. It's more on Riot's side. And then from the Ionian battle, we get the Ionian Boots of Lucidity. As you can see, it's like I'm sure some of the North American players can proudly say, oh, look at this item, Ionian Boot of Lucidity. I participated in the battle. I'm partly responsible for these boots. It's something like they managed to contribute into the game itself. However, another interesting storyline is the Dominion, where the incident in Kadamode and stuff. It's been going on since, I don't know, issue 1, issue 3. The Kadamode stuff.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Eventually, it culminates in the release of Dominion. However, right now, there's still a couple of storylines that are not that doesn't have a closure yet. As in, what's going on with Katarina's father? Where's the real Javan? And how is the new champions fit into all this? I mean, Talon was there to hunt down the Katarina's father when he went missing, but I mean, I don't see any new champions getting into this lore. Most of the old champions are into the lore in ways that what makes them unique and lovable, makes them memorable. But as for champions such as Fiora, Varus, Hecarim, Fizz, I mean, I don't really see them, in the scene as much. Even Sejuani, who is supposedly Ash's sister, she's
sister, right? Yeah.
I mean, I don't really see.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. You were saying?
No, like I said, we do see that there was this very huge lapse in between. We are hoping that obviously they do issue more issues. They issue more issues, what am I saying? They release more issues more frequently. I mean, it is a good thing to actually read up about law. It helps gamers immerse themselves in the universe and get them to be there, as well as what you mentioned before, like the Battle of the North, with a few players representing Ionia coming in. It gets the community involved and things like that. Obviously, it's a good suggestion, but I am very sure Riot has their own reasoning as to why they had not been doing this for some time, and all of a sudden they started now. So we hope for the best there. We don't know. Djehuty, how much do you think law actually impacts gameplay here in Southeast Asia?
Well, I mean, there are some people who read the law, and there are those who don't. I mean, law is not something that everybody's going to be interested in, but I think that it's still an important part of the game, and having law keeps things interesting and lets everybody know how things are tied up to one another. I myself, I enjoy reading the law, and And I'm kind of happy that they finally released a new Journal of Justice, because I've been wondering like whether they would ever revive it again. And of course, the button's been there for this lot since forever. So if they were never gonna update it, when I saw the update today, I was like, whoa, there's an update for Journal of Justice. It was like a complete shock. And you know, it's cool. I think it's really cool that they have this kind of lore. Not many games bother to like keep the lore updated, and then they just let it stagnate, and then we don't really find out much more about the game. And having it's not going to really affect people who don't bother about lore, like maybe some pro gamers who just play the game as a sport. But for people who do care about it, it's definitely icing on the cake. So yeah, I enjoy and I appreciate the fact that they have this lore.
I think also generally players across the world, like newer players now, are more interested in about reading lore. Like we see games like StarCraft and Diablo, Guild Wars and things like that. Their lore stories are becoming richer and richer, because that's what is drawing you know, people to actually come in and play, especially like games with installments. So if you don't actually have to follow the first one, you can just pick up the second one and there's a storyline with it.
I mean, that's what I like about StarCraft in the first place. I mean, I don't really, you know, participate or watch the professional StarCraft tournaments, but I've been playing the game just to know what's going to be the end of the story.
Yeah, I mean, your lore story is pretty well done, and I think like that's where generally people are focusing, because even I enjoy reading the lore, or like knowing these bits and pieces of behind, like Ash is actually married to Tryndamere, correct me if I'm wrong, and things like that. So yeah, we are actually approaching on the hour already, so this most likely will be the end of episode 2 of Sanctuary Cast. Thank you so much both of you for coming on, Djehuty and Kada. Any last words?
Just thanks for having me here, and I hope that you guys look out for more information about the GPL and the 1-year anniversary on our forums.
And for Kada, any last words?
I don't really have any words except read my guides. We'll include the link down below. Yes.
Yes, we'll put a link down below to some of Kada's guides. So thank you so much for all of y'all for coming on the show and for completing episode 2. Just before we leave, the screenshot we currently see being played in the background is actually BlackThorn Morgana, and that's the new splash art released by Riot. If you like it and you'd like to see more, there will be a link about it to the Riot's main page itself, and there. And just before we leave, we don't see many guides from Kada recently, so Kada, is this incentive for you to write more since that you're now publicizing your guides out there?
What are you talking about?
So if you guys have read Kada's threads and liked his guides and you want him to write more, comment down below and we'll get him to write a new one, preferably on some new hero out there. So thank you all once again for coming along, Djehuty and Kada, for the second podcast, and thank you all for listening to out there. If you have any questions or suggestions that you would like to make the show better, please leave it down in the comments below. And this will be episode 2. Thank you all for listening. Bye.